Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review As Far as the Eye. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $25. So this is a 4X roguelike with no combat. Rather, you are this nomadic group that is tasked with traveling from halt to halt, halt being locations in which you can settle, gather resources, and so on. And your ultimate goal is to reach your final destination. The campaign is broken up over 5 scenarios, I think, and that will help you get acclimated into the game, or you can play a custom game and set up however the way you want it. That's one of the things I want to quickly talk about. This game is just great in the way that it will allow you to customize your setup to be as easy or as hard as you want. There's starting pupils, for example. You can set how many you start with. Typical number is 3, but you can have more, I think up to 6. You can start with so much food. You can start with random positive or negative traits. There's how many maps there are. They're called journeys in this game. Again, the game is broken up. A map is broken up over a series of halts. Again, these are locations in which you can settle. And when you reach the end of that map, you're going to move on to the next one, and they're called journeys. And how many journeys you have is, again, customizable. You can choose it to be a short experience, a long experience, and so on. So, there's no combat, like I said, but this isn't a game that needs combat, in my opinion. There are these things called vagaries that are like negative events that will pop up, like termites might eat up all buildings that are near forest tiles, or there's an earthquake coming up in 2 turns, or this building caught fire. But you can, again, turn those on or off to make your experience easier. You can even turn off the food. So if you don't want to worry about feeding your people and just want the experience of gathering resources and traveling, you can do that too. Now, what's to stop you from staying in one halt forever and just building up, building up, building up? You've got so many turns to get out of there before the flood reaches you. I believe it's like 200 turns or something like that. And you have to be efficient in this game. You have to go, okay, what do I need to get to the next halt? And there might be a choice. You might be able to go, okay, if I go this way to this halt, it's going to cost me 200 wood and 250 ore, whatever. This way is going to cost me 200 wood and 150 knowledge points. So, do I intend to spend my knowledge points this particular halt? You can build this building called a council, and then spend these knowledge points in order to give your civilization a passive buff in some way. Or just negate these bad things that are happening to you, these vagaries. So anyway, you're going to choose a halt, and you can freely change your choice. Like, let's say that, I'm going, at the beginning of my halt, I was going to go this way, but I realized, you know what, there's not a whole lot of ore on this particular map, so I'm gonna go this way because there's plenty of resource on this particular halt for me to gather for it. So you can choose between which one you want at any time. That's no problem. So you're going to be moving your 3, again, it may change depending on how many pupils you start with and how many you find along the way. But you're going to be moving these guys around on a 4x grid, like a hex-based grid. And they're going to be gathering resources like wood or ore or stone. You'll have to construct buildings for some of these things. Like, you just can't go over to a fishing hole and fish. You need to construct a fishery in order to do that. Or you might need to build a mine in order to get the ore that you need. Or a quarry to get the stone that you need. And these things cost resources. So like I said, there's a timer. So you have to look at the timer and go, okay, I've got 150 turns left. I need to gather wood and stone for this way, this path that I'm going. Should I spend some of that for other buildings because they cost wood and stone too? Like, do I have enough time, and is it worth it for me to construct this building so that I can start spending my knowledge, or should I wait until the next halt? Again, the next location, in order to spend my resources. So you have to, there's a choice to be made. There's some strategy in how efficient you are and what you decide to go after, what you decide to prioritize in. Speaking of prioritize, your little guys, they will earn experience based on the skills that they're doing. Think, say, The Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Skyrim, where if you do lockpicking in Skyrim or Oblivion, you gain lockpicking skill. In this game, it's similar. The people that mine or harvest resources or chop down trees or do cooking, they will earn experience across multiple categories. And they will gain passive benefits as they do that, to the point where if they level up enough in that one field, you'll be able to specialize them into a different skill or thing. So one might be, do I want to specialize him in gathering rock, or do I want to specialize him in cooking? So you have to pick and choose, which one you're going to go with. So there is some strategy in taking your time and picking the right person for the right job. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of impatient that way. I, for my playthrough, did not go, oh, this guy's good at cooking. Whoever was free, that's what I chose to send them off to do. I didn't really pick and choose who did what. I was just sending people off to do things, and they learned as they went. And I was fine. But again, you can customize how difficult your game is. So on the easier difficulties, you can get away with not really paying too much attention to who is doing what based on their skill level. But yeah. So you're going to gather the resources that you need to move on to the next halt. And whenever you do that, when you're ready to leave, you have to pick and choose what to bring with you. And the game enters this little Tetris minigame. Now, I don't want to use the word minigame and scare you off. Each item type, like food or rock or wood, is like a Tetris block of some kind, and you've got to fit it into your bag. You have unlimited time to do this. I'm just saying you're not going to be able to take everything with you. So the 800 rock that you gathered for whatever reason, you can only bring maybe 100 or 200 of it with you into the next map, assuming you've got room for it. You're going to have to pick and choose what to bring with you into the next halt. And don't worry, that cost of moving there is automatically deducted. So like I said, if it costs 200 wood and 100 stone to move to a halt, it's already been deducted, and whatever's left over, that's what you have to choose from in order to put into your bag and move on to the next halt. Food in this game is fairly easy. You start with so many rations, but you can cook more rations. You gather raw pumpkin or fish or meat or wheat. There's different things that you can grow grain/wheat via farm, and then with a cooking station or a bakery, I think it is, you can convert that wheat into actual rations. Now you can eat the raw food as well, but you don't get that much of a return on it. Like for every 20 you feed the cookery or the bakery, say 20 wheat or 20 fish, and it outputs say 30 to 40 ration. So you get more bang for your buck if you take the time to cook your raw food into finished rations. So I'm really, really happy with this game. Again, there's no combat except for the bad things that happen to you, but again, you can disable that. This is a beautiful game to look at. Each of these halts that you go to are relatively small. They don't take all that much time to explore. The different halts will range in size. So you might go to a medium halt, which is fairly bigger, and so on. So some halts are larger than others. But yeah, this is a fantastic game. And you can even choose your tribe too, which will give you various benefits and bonuses. I love the skills. I love the fact that these people will level up as you play. I like the resource management. I like the efficiency. And I do feel like the 200 turns until flooding gave me enough time to do everything I wanted to do, but I still had to stop and smell the roses and enjoy my experience and still at the same time think about, okay, the clock is ticking. I better get a move on what I need to move on to the next halt. This is a beautiful game, folks. If you like the idea of a 4X roguelike that is economic based and it's got that FTL, you got to keep moving before the bad guys get you. If you like that idea, then I think you're going to love this game. So, in case you couldn't tell, this game is a definite recommend from me. It is so charming, so gorgeous to look at. I love the skills. I love how obsessive-compulsive you could be. or you can be like me and be impatient and just send people off to do anything that you want to. But yeah, I mean, you can sit there for 5 minutes and mull over one turn thinking about who's going to do what resources you're going to go after, do the math, figure out, do I have enough time to get these resources collected and to construct this building? Is it worth the return that I'm going to get from this building because I'm only going to be here for 30 more turns? You can do that. That's great. Or, again, you can play a bit more passively like me and just blow through everything at your own leisure, but still stop to smell the roses every now and again. So, as far as the eye, beautiful game. Absolutely, positively recommend this one. It's fantastic. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.